And welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my preview of Fulham's match against Chelsea. My 5 keys to victory for Fulham against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It will be a difficult match, always when these two sides play each other. But you know what? You never know what can happen with Fulham Football Club against Chelsea. We'll see what happens on Saturday. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's just get right to it. Let's start with number 5. And this is a key one, and this has been a theme, but I think it's going to be very key in this match. Marco has to win the coaching battle against Pochettino. Now, I want to give a lot of credit to Pochettino. In the matchup the first time these clubs met at Craven Cottage, his strategy worked out really well. He basically man-marked Paulinho out of the match. Gallagher took Paulinho out of the match, and it really just affected Fulham throughout the match. I've seen a lot of talk about that over here, and there's a lot to be said about that, how that affected the match. And I think it really did, because Paulinho has to be able to affect the match positively for Fulham. And if he is taken out of the match, that really hurts Fulham. Not that he is this offensive threat, but he dictates how Fulham are going to play defensively. And if you take him out, if you affect him, then you are going to affect Fulham. Take him away in any kind of way, that will destroy Fulham. So that is what I'm concerned about. What will Marco do in this coaching battle? How will he change things up against Pochettino this time around? Will he go with a different starting 11? Probably from the first time we played, because obviously players are out. But he's going to have to get his starting 11 right, make the right substitutions, and basically he's going to have to win the coaching battle. He's going to have to outcoach Pochettino for Fulham to win this match. That's why that's my number 5. And let's go back to a subject I just mentioned. Number 4 is Paulinho has to be dominant in this match. And full credit to Chelsea, the way that they played the first time around. But when you have a key player like Paulinho and you take him out of the match, like Chelsea did, it affects everything Fulham want to do. And João Paulinho does have these matches in him. But when you are, what we would say over here, the man, teams are going to try to take you out, meaning that they're going to try to limit your effectiveness. And this is something that great coaches can do. And it's going to take Marco and his staff and Paulinho to find a way to unlock him against Chelsea. And he's going to have to play well. If Paulinho doesn't play well, they don't have a shot to beating Chelsea. Not probably even getting a draw. He has to be his dominant self. And we'll see if he is against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. This is a major key for me. That's why that's my number 4. Number 3, the center back pairing has to be flawless. And I think this is a big one, because I've thought about this a lot. I think Fulham really have missed Calvin Bassey in that last match. I think what Bassey gives you is not just stability and toughness, but I think it's a confidence. He is not afraid to take a risk, and he is very aggressive. He doesn't really sit back like I think you could see from, say, Tosin and maybe Diop. And what I see from Tosin and Diop is something that I saw years ago from a player that most Fulham supporters know. And at times he could be good, but Philippe Senderos would have a mistake in a match. I'm not saying you get a mistake in these two players every match, but they do have that mistake in them. We actually saw that in the last match. Tosin was fortunate not to make more mistakes because he made some key ones. I mean, the fact that Liverpool did not capitalize on his mistakes really helped Fulham stay in this tie. So he needs to be flawless. So does Diop, because I think this Chelsea team is going to be aggressive. They have some pace, and I think they're going to put these two center backs under pressure. And they're going to have to play a mistake-free match. Can they do it? For Fulham to get all 3 points, they're going to need this pairing to be flawless. I don't know if they can get it done. I hope they can. but that's my number 3 key to victory. Number 2, Fulham need to score the early goal. We've seen this time and time again. Let's just call what it is. Fulham are front runners. They like to play from the front. Can they come from behind? They've been showing that they can come from behind, but they are better when they are ahead. Now, obviously, it didn't work out well in the last match against Liverpool, but they seem to play well from the front. So I think it's very important for them to get that early goal, to settle the team down, get that early goal at Stamford Bridge. And I think things could go their way. It's very important. If they get behind against Chelsea, yes, they can respond. Yes, they can make it a match. But if we're talking about getting a victory, and that's the way I'm looking at it, then they need to score the early goal, set the tone, and take it from there, and then follow that up with another goal. And I'm just telling you right now, there's an opportunity there. I will tell you one thing, that I am a fan of Chelsea's goalkeeper, who actually was the goalkeeper for my local side, the New England Revolution. Petrovic is a quality goalkeeper. He's proven that with Chelsea. And but I think that there is an opportunity to get a goal by him, possibly too. But they're going to have to early and then follow that up to get all 3 points. Coming up next, I'm going to give you my number 1 key to victory for Fulham against Chelsea, my starting 11, and I will end this quick show with my prediction for the match. Okay. Here's my number 1 key to victory for Fulham, and this actually goes back to the last match, and you could say this pretty much for a couple seasons with Fulham. They can't be wasteful. Fulham cannot be wasteful with their scoring opportunities. When you're going to Stamford Bridge, when you're going to Anfield, you have to score on your chances, or it's going to come back to bite you. We saw that in the last match. And I think Fulham are going to be able to create some opportunities. I like their chances to create here against Chelsea. I do. But they're going to have to get a goal or two by Petrovic. There's an opportunity to, but they're going to have to capitalize. If they continue to knock on the door and they don't get that goal, it's going to come back to bite them and they're going to lose this match. There is an opportunity to beat this team. There really is. This is not an unbeatable Chelsea team. We've seen that. But I do fear the matchup, the coaching matchup. I think Pochettino knows how to play against Silva, so that does concern me. But I think that there's an opportunity to get goals here. And they just have to capitalize when they get their opportunities and not see the chances fall away like they did against Liverpool. Please capitalize on your opportunities. I do like the progression of Raul Jimenez, like what's going on with him. He needs to score a goal or two for Fulham to get all 3 points. And we'll see what ends up happening. Okay. So let's go to my starting 11 and what I think Marco will do. So my starting 11 is going to be this. I'm going to go with Castagna, Robinson, Leno, Diop, Adebayo. I'm going to go with Paulinho, Reed. I'm going to follow that up. On the left, I'm going to go with Willian if he's fit to go. And on the right, I'm going to go with Bobby Decordova, Reed, and Jimenez up front. And if I didn't already mention it, Pereira behind. What I'm looking for as a starting 11. What do I think that Marco's going to do? I think Marco's going to go with that. I actually think he will go with that starting 11. The question will be, Willian, are you asking too much of a player who just played Wednesday night of his age to come right back into it? And that's a question that's a viable question. Anyways, I think that's what Marco's going to go with. He might go with Kenny Tete instead of Castagna, but I would go with Castagna. That's what I would do against Chelsea. Okay. To end this episode of Cottage Talk, I'm going to give you my prediction for the match. I've given this some thought. WhoScored.com has it a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go with them. I think Fulham are going to get something from this match. I think we're asking a lot coming off of that Liverpool match to get a victory. So I'm going to say a 2-2 draw for Fulham against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge wouldn't be a terrible result for Fulham Football Club. we'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I will have a show or two after the match, post-match show or shows. I'm not sure at this point. But my prediction is 2-2 for Fulham against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. Before I go, I just want to give a big thanks to everyone that has watched and listened to Cottage Talk. And I appreciate your patience over the last, I want to say, month or so, because with the holidays, I haven't been doing as many shows. It's been difficult getting everyone together to do shows. We're going to have more and more shows. We're going to have more and more co-hosts join me. So I want to thank you for your patience. And also, I want to really just thank you for listening to Cottage Talk and watching it, because it means a lot to me. This show means a great deal to me. Being a Fulham supporter means a lot to me. I just want to end the show by just saying thank you. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, part of the talkSPORT Fan Network.